If you love a good career tea, you are the right place because this isn't a story about grinding harder. It's about something not so obvious. And today, we are going to talk about something that has the power to shift your career journey. And no, it's not about more also, or more late nights, or another certification. It's just one conversation, just one. Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. You've probably heard the saying, hard work beats talent.
That may be true, but sometimes networking beats both. And I learned this the unexpected way. Now, I don't mean the weird kind of networking. You know, the adding 50 LinkedIn connections in one evening kind. I'm talking about natural conversations that end up changing your life. Because that's exactly what happened to me. Let me rewind a little. At the time, I was working as a content writer at a marketing agency. Or at least that's what my job description said. But in reality, my days were filled with all sorts of tasks that had nothing to do with writing. Some days, I was handling clients' requests. On other days, I was doubling as a project manager on projects no one else wanted. On paper, I was busy, but in reality, I was lost. The job wasn't fulfilling, and there was no clear structure for growth. It honestly felt like I was running on a treadmill. I was sweating, moving, and putting in the hours, but still, I remained in the same place. And maybe you can relate. Maybe you've been in that place where you're showing up, working hard, and then one day you realize this isn't where you're supposed to be. That was me every single day. And still, I stayed because I thought if I just work harder, maybe someone will notice. If I give even more, maybe something will change. But you guessed right, nothing changed. Then came this group getaway. It was a much needed break, trust me. The trip itself was fun, with lots of laughter and meeting new people. And on the way back, I ended up sitting next to a lady I'd briefly introduced myself to earlier on the trip. You know how those kinds of introductions go? The usual name, what do you do, happy to meet you type of thing. End of story. But this time, she turned to me and said, "Hi, I remember you said earlier that you're a content writer." I responded that I was. She smiled and said, "Same here, I'm a content writer too." And boom, just like that, the conversation flowed. We started chatting about the differences between content writing and content creation. And at some point, I casually mentioned, actually, my role says content writer, but over time, I picked up content creation too. It's become a passion, along with a bunch of other skills I've been building. It was a light, easy conversation. Nothing forced, nothing pitchy. Then she said something that made me sit up. She goes, "We're actually looking for a content creator at my company right now. Would you be interested?" Man, in my head, I was screaming yes. But on the outside, I tried to play it cool and said I was definitely open to that. She told me she would make some inquiries. And honestly, I didn't think too much of it at the time. But little did I know that that simple chat was the beginning of a shift in my career. A few weeks later, I got invited to interview for that role. And guess what? I landed the job. But here's the thing, this wasn't just a new job for me, it was an entire career pivot. Finally, I had landed a role that matched my skills and passions. Content creation gave me freedom to explore ideas, be creative, and actually feel like my work had meaning. Looking back, I realized something. I'd been working so hard at my old job, grinding away and hoping it would lead somewhere. But one conversation on a road trip created an opportunity that my hard work alone could not. That was when it hit me. Hard work matters, but sometimes networking can change everything. It wasn't my efforts that opened this new door. It was one conversation.
Here is one thing I've learned in my career journey. Networking isn't only about swapping business cards at events or sending awkward DMs on LinkedIn. Networking is simply connecting, talking, being curious about people, and letting them be curious about you. The best conversation I've had so far were not at networking events or career fairs. In most cases, it's just two people sharing a seat and a conversation. And again, hard work still matters. You will always need both skills and discipline to stand out anywhere you are. But networking multiplies the impact of your hard work. It is the bridge between what you can do and the opportunities that let you show it. So think about it. Who are you sitting next to today? A colleague, a classmate, or even a stranger on a bus? You never know which conversation can open the next door for you. So, here is my advice for you. Don't just bury your head in the grind. Look up, talk to people. And when you do, don't just stop at job titles. Share your skills. That can make all the difference.
Networking is less about collecting contacts and more about creating meaningful connections, and staying on top of people's minds. And sometimes this happens in the most random places. The old way has always been work harder, someone will notice. But here's the new philosophy: work hard, yes, but also talk to people, share, connect, because one conversation, literally one, can change your path. If this story resonated with you, would love to hear yours. Has a single connection ever changed your career or personal life? Drop it in the comments. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. You can also share with someone who needs a reminder that sometimes the right conversation is worth more than months, even years of grinding alone. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more episodes on how to level up your career.